بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم الحمد لله والصلاة والسلام على رسول الله وعلى آله وصحبه ومن والاه. Ladies and gentlemen, good afternoon, or good morning still. We are here to basically brief you on progress of the Libya Stabilization team. My name is Aref Ali Nayed. I'm the Libyan ambassador to the UAE, and I had the honor of submitting my credentials yesterday to His Highness the President of the UAE. I look forward to great relationships between the two countries, inshallah. Last month, actually to the day, I think it was on August 21st, we declared day one of the implementation of the stabilization plan. And today, a month later, we would like to declare handover to the various ministries within the executive team of various aspects of the stabilization work in the multi-dimensions or sectors of stabilization. This is 2 months ahead of schedule. We had actually anticipated the handover to start 3 months after declaration of day one. The reason for the acceleration of the handover is the fact that thanks be to God and to the great effort of the Libyan people in Tripoli itself and its surroundings, the liberation of Tripoli and the immediate aftermath has been a lot more peaceful and resulted in a lot less damage than we had anticipated. And the movement of the government from Benghazi to Tripoli has been quite smooth, and the work has gone quite smoothly. So we feel that confident that it is very important that all dimensions get handed over to the various ministries, each according to their specialty. I would like to invite Engineer Faisal Girgab, or Dr. Faisal Girgab, to brief you on the specifics of the implementation of the stabilization plan. There are a couple of general points that I would like to make in the beginning, however. Number one is that the stabilization team itself is a network of networks of Libyans, mainly young Libyans, women and men, who are purely volunteers and have been working since the beginning of the revolution in various capacities. At one point, they were called the support offices or support teams, eventually becoming the Libya Stabilization team. These informal networks are the ones who did the work in full cooperation with local networks at the local councils level and the various ministries. And as volunteers, they will continue to serve their country, either under the stabilization unit name as a think tank of sorts or under any other name. But the important thing to point out is none of the stabilization team positions was a governmental official position that was in any way given executive powers or salaried as a position. It was all volunteer work, and there was no appointment as such. The network emerged with time, first supporting the executive team and its head as support offices, and then eventually becoming a stabilization team. We feel that the volunteers in this network have done what they can to serve their country, just like other Libyans did, and will now recede to the background and continue to contribute in whichever capacity they can. I just wanted to make that clear because some people thought that the stabilization team was a governmental executive body or a set of governmental positions, which it's not. And the second point I wanted to make was that as we go forward, the various people in the team will choose various paths and careers. Some people will go back to their jobs and their existing work. Some people may join some of the ministries or some of the governmental bodies. Some people may choose to simply do other things in life. But one thing is for sure is that the commitment continues as Libyans to serve our country. So I would like to invite Dr. Faisal Girgab to brief you on the specifics of what the stabilization team has been up to and to chart the way forward. Thank you.
Thank you, Dr. Aref. Good morning, everyone. I'm here talking on behalf of a rather large number of colleagues. Some are still in Tripoli. Others are in other parts of the world, in Europe and the United States. So this is a work that was done by a number of people, around 70 or so, in cooperation with the locals in the various cities in Libya, Tripoli, Misrata, Nafusa Mountain, and in the south as well. We've been given regular updates when we're in Tripoli, but I'll give you sort of a summary for what was done and achieved by the stabilization team. We'll start with the most important sector, the energy sector. Over the last 3-4 months, the team was basically putting together a plan that's based on a number of scenarios and mitigation actions and supply options. Fortunately, the scenario we have faced in Tripoli was exceedingly better than any best case scenario we've envisaged. So that helped the team and the NTC and the local councils as well. In terms of specific deliveries or achievements, the team was quite essential in negotiating long-term credit line agreements, that's product supplies in terms of gasoline, gas oil, heavy fuel oil. Due to the financial situation of the NTC with frozen assets, the only option was to basically negotiate 3 months to 6 months deferred payment options. Luckily, the team managed to basically close out a number of deals that were signed off by AGICO, that's the legal entity. In terms of specific quantities, we're talking about around 70,000 tons of gasoline, 90,000 tons of gas oil, 35,000 tons of heavy fuel oil, and 2,000 tons of LPG, liquefied petroleum gas, which is the cooking gas. That, in fact, helped with the easing up the fuel issue in Tripoli. People have noticed that over the last week or so, there aren't any queues, and the supply is basically continuing. Now that the team has handed over the supply negotiations to the NTC and the National Oil Corporation, our role will be basically limited to providing advice when needed. In terms of electricity, the work had started very early. There were major blackouts in the Nafusa Mountain and Tripoli. The work started with the Nafusa Mountain, where intensive maintenance activities were carried out on the Ruwais power plant in Shakshuk at the Nafusa Mountain with the help of the local General Electricity Company. The power plant was restored and electricity was basically provided to the mountainous area. In Tripoli, the team has helped with the re-establishment of the General Electricity Company and basically reassuring the employees to come back to work and the maintenance crews to carry out the sort of maintenance repairs. So now electricity is in good state in Tripoli with very minimum power cuts or scheduled shutdowns. Again, the electricity sector had been completely handed over to the electricity ministry, and our role is also limited to advise when asked for. This is on the energy sector. On the and the work, of course, goes to a large number of colleagues, people like Asim al-Qusbi and Fakhr Badr, and quite a large number of people in Tripoli, and Ali Sasi from JECOL, and the Minister Awad al-Barasi with his great support. This work was done under the leadership, of course, of Dr. Mahmoud Jibril and Dr. Ali Tarhouni in Tripoli, and with the advice of Dr. Ahmed Ishani and Dr. Aref as well. So credit goes to all those people. In terms of the telecoms sector, Usama Siala couldn't make it here, so I'm just going to give you a detailed, a summary update on what was done. Prior to the 20th of August, the regime had basically blocked all telecommunications in Nafusa Mountain in Tripoli, and internet traffic was totally blocked. First action was done by the stabilization team was to basically safeguard the subscribers' database just in case it is basically sabotaged or damaged. Work was done to basically provide telecoms to Benghazi And that effort was done by a big team as well, and stabilization team support was also there. In terms of the actions that were done straight after the liberation of Tripoli, we've managed to unblock internet traffic. We have actually blocked 10,000 subscribers, which are suspected to be used by the old regime in giving instructions, military instructions. We've also restored all connectivity to the two main networks in Tripoli. And once again, we have handed over the telecoms sector to the ministry. And currently, we still provide support to Minister Anwar al-Fitouri and his team. So this is the work that was done on the telecoms. I'll just give a very quick summary on the coordination with the UN and the EU Commission in Tripoli. The team has basically established a network of activities coordinating with the various UN clusters and UN Commission in Tripoli, and we have coordinated a number of engagements with the Ministry of Interior, Ministry of Health. Dr. Salah will speak about it very shortly. And we've also initiated a number of initiatives like supplying basically water, which I'll talk about very shortly again, and providing potential training support to the Ministry of Justice and Ministry of Interior. The work will continue, and the stabilization team will continue providing that support in its current capacity. On the water crisis, which was one of the most important issues and difficulty that we faced as soon as we arrived to Tripoli, everybody basically knew that there were major issues with the water supply, which were coming from the main water wells at the south, Jebel al-Hsawna. A number of wells, around 475, which provide the supply to Tripoli and Misrata, have been shut down, and that necessitated an immediate action to reset those wells. Unfortunately, the security situation at the time didn't allow the An-Nahar company and the water supply company to send their engineers and carry out the work due to security concerns. But due to the heroic efforts of the engineers and technicians from the An-Nahar company, those people have basically taken major risks and reached the area and managed to reset the wells. And water now is completely restored in the capital and Misrata. And that work, of course, was done with the coordination with the local councils in Tripoli and in Misrata as well. So our role will, again, we have handed over the responsibilities to the relevant authorities, and again, our role will be basically to provide advice when needed. So these are the key sort of areas that we have delivered and we have handed over to the executive office. Once again, a number of the team members have actually joined the relevant ministries, providing support in various capacities, and our role will continue to provide that support when asked for. So that's the again, I would like to sort of acknowledge the efforts and the hard work that was done by the team. We'll be happy to give you details of the team profiles and details of the team members that were involved in basically planning and executing those plans. Thank you very much, and I'll pass the floor to Dr. Aref.